Live now. We're about to start. Yeah. There we go. We're live now. We should be live now.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is.
We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live.
We're back, baby. We're back.
So let me turn these notifications off because I can hear them in the background. System sounds is off. Actually, if I turn your system sounds off, it should be off there.
I can see what you mean by the brightness now as well.
Yeah, can you? There you go. That is it. That is it. Oh, so Talking Tech episode 7. Welcome, everyone.
Episode 7.
Yes, it is. Episode 7. So hope you guys have been well. I hope everyone is staying safe and obviously not ill, which we don't want, obviously, in this show as well. I do have to do one thing quickly so I can get this chat in our chat working here. For some reason, it's not working, but I'll get that going now. Which is this one? It's stupid how you got to actually do that every single time. And yeah, and you got to toggle the chat too. Top chat, it is live chats. That should work now. But if we just do test here, it should work. There we go.
Nice.
All right, so who have we got in the chat? Who's here in the chat?
Is anyone here? Anyone here? I don't think I've put my announcements out, actually.
Yeah, I think we should start with that anyway. So
yeah,
we'll give it a better minute or so before it starts kicking in properly.
Sounds good.
What do you reckon?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Mark is here. Well, we're talking Star Citizen all night.
How you going? It is Star Citizens tonight, so we'll do that. We'll get these tweets going out as well.
Let's do it. Announce to the social world that this is where you want to be to beat being sick.
For not being sick.
Had to be careful there.
You don't want to be sick at times like this, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, so I'll just copy and paste that. I'm just going to just do tweeting now. We are live.
So talk to me, Lee. You've just moved the studio to home. How was the move?
I'm still going.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, so just give me 1 second. Just put the tweet out now.
No worries, mate. If either of you cough, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so obviously I just put a video out, guys. I'll get that link into the chat. If Mark, if you can do that, please, that'd be great. And I'll make you a moderator on there. Actually, if you want to chat too, and I'll put you as a mod. Rick?
Yep.
Just in case you see something in the chat is very inappropriate, but I'm sure it will be fine. So yeah, it's been a very long couple of weeks at this stage.
Yeah, it sounds like it, mate.
Yeah, we've got a few things going on at the moment. So I've just put a video out as well, obviously, because I've essentially shut down the studio.
Crazy times.
Yeah, so they've locked us down in SA. Actually, no, you're in Canberra.
Yep.
Are you in stage 3 at the moment, or still?
No, we're stage 2 at the moment.
Yeah,
we seem to be. There's Lee's latest video. Go have a watch. Yeah, we're in stage 2 at the moment, but we're very dependent on what Victoria and New South Wales do. Obviously, being in the smack bag in the middle of those two, we seem to react to whatever they do. Whatever they do, we sort of follow suit. So.
We're at stage 3 at the moment. So
are you really? Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So stage 3 at the moment was effective from this morning.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was last night, like 11:59.
Yeah.
And so from there on, we're going to be pretty locked down. If we go to stage 4, that is it. Everyone's home. No one moves, pretty much. Yep. But I'm not taking any risks or chances. So I ended up pretty much taking 3/4 of the studio stuff that I need to do. I've got lighting in the background. I've actually got lights everywhere here. Green screens here as well.
Oh, really?
New desk. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting everything as much as I can here, just in case they do lock us down. Worst case scenario, I might have to get mail redirected from the studio to home, just in case I've got other stuff coming in, which I do have. Hopefully should be here Wednesday. Oh, no, probably Friday, Monday now. But stage 3 still allows me to go to the office, which is good. It's just like going straight there, pick up what I need to pick up and come back home.
Yep.
But I've brought some products home so far. You guys, if you haven't seen the video yet, this is what's in the video. So NVIDIA has sent me the NVIDIA Shield TV, which is
very nice.
An awesome little unit. I've actually I've got the current one, or the previous one now. I've had this for a bit, but Blue Designs have sent me the Yeti Nano. Do a quick review on that as well.
In red as well.
Yeah, I'm hanging to see what that. And
very nice.
Sennheiser have sent me the GSP 300s.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I've heard really good things. I cannot wait to see that review, mate, and see what you think.
They're for these ones, they'll be like the low to mid tier.
Yep.
So they're not as obviously high end as the other ones, but we'll have to wait and see with that. But
do I remember correctly that you tested them in show once? The Sennheisers?
No, I've unboxed another set of parts.
Okay. Yeah.
But the one that is definitely interesting, definitely, but I can't wait to unbox. And I haven't even pulled out of the box yet, but it's here.
Oh, look at this. Unboxing.
So it's the 17YA. The model is an RX7Y9. So, specs. Let's have a look at this. Hey, Joe, how you going, buddy? So, RTX 2080, 9980 HK. All right. Got 16 gig of RAM. It's got two M.2s, SSD, 1 terabyte. It's got a 2 terabyte hard drive on there, Windows 10. And I'm pretty sure this model comes with a 240 hertz.
Oof.
That is
Rycover's new monitor that's coming my way.
So, yeah, I'll be definitely doing a review on that very, very soon. I'll probably have that finished by the end of the week. So a lot of benchmarking, testing, gaming. I'll probably be streaming off it as well to see what the streaming's like. So I'll probably do a stream on Thursday with that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll connect it up to my monitors. If you looked at the video, you can see that I'm running 3 PG79Q monitors. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Golf, get in line, please. I'm already first. Staff benefits, mate. I'll send you my address.
Well, golf is staff.
Yeah, I know.
No, he's good, mate. He's good. We should start probably with tonight's straw poll. What do you think?
Let's do it. So tonight's straw poll is a bit of a different one, obviously with the world going crazy. Deadluck's good to see you, my man.
I'll go to the Chrome chat as well so you can go and see that. So with the world being extra clean, how often should you clean your PC?
This is a topic that I believe was a lot on a few people's lips. Obviously, there's a lot of people now working from home, have maybe a bit more time on their hands, have their amazing PC next to them.
Yeah.
Is it time to pull it out and give it a good clean? So I want to know, how often people that are passionate PC enthusiasts, how often you clean your PC. What do you do, Lee? What do you do?
Now, to be honest, I'm still clipping, Rory. Just let me know. Yeah. I have literally just cleaned my PC on Monday. Actually, it was Monday. Actually, yesterday. It was yesterday. I went through the whole thing. It was bad. I know, I suffer from sinuses, and when I pretty much cleaned it all out, my sinuses were stuffed for the rest of the night. So pretty much redid my GPU as well. Yep. Did the whole thing. Just went right over it, and it seems to be running okay. But I'm going to say every 6 months.
Every 6 months?
Every 6 months, just give it a blowout. I think 2 weeks, a month is probably a bit excessive. Depends what sort of environment you're in as well. If you're in a really dusty environment, for example, like miners or stuff like that actually play games and so forth, I would say every 2 weeks or once a month. But I'm going to vote for every 6 months.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. Now, a question for you, Lee. Okay. Does it change in terms of cleaning your PC on the type of PC you built? So if you've got it like an AIO or a water build, or should that to change someone's time frame on when they should clean their PC?
Well, no. Well, I've got an all-in-one. So I've still got fans, still got rads. Obviously, if you're running air-cooled, it's probably a bit different. You might want to keep that more clean than anything. But prospectively, if you do a timetable on a calendar every month, 3 months, 6 months, a year or so forth, and have that set, like I said, it all depends on your situation in your area where you live in, how dusty you are. It all depends what it is. You're smoking, there's a lot of things like that. Obviously, I vape. So believe it or not, the vape itself has got a bit of oil on it. So
Oh,
if
really?
you
Yeah.
vape near a PC, you will get oil, like a residue on it. So that's something
I
else
did
you
not
have to
know
look
that.
at too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not common, but not everything at the
Yeah.
same time. But yeah, so it's
I
a little
guess
less now. It's cool.
positioning as well, where if you have it on the carpet under your desk or something like that as well, or on top of your desk and stuff like that, that can
You should
obviously determine.
You should never have a PC on carpet. Never have a PC on carpet. That's just wrong.
Yeah, true. Very, very true.
Where's your
All right,
PC?
6 months.
Does your PC sit on
Mine's
the
on
desk?
my desk. Yeah, no, mine's on my desk right next to me. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we got 4 for 6 months. We got 1 for 1 month, and never. Jesus, who is never? In the chat, let us know who never is. Oh God.
Deadlux. I mean, I have all the sides off mine. No dust.
Yeah, it just goes right through the PC. Like just in and out. Fans pull it in and fans just push it out. Look, back in the day, obviously, when cooling was an issue for us, obviously, I don't know how many, and let us know in the chat, how many of you guys used to pull the side case off and put a fully sized, desk fan right in front of it and blow cool air into it?
Oh, mate.
I want to know how many people in the chat was like, they actually did that. Because you know what? I did it every single summer. It was something that, all the time.
I think Slickflow just did it this summer as well. I'm pretty confident that's what
he did.
He had the new PC build. I think he was having some heating issues. Yeah. Then I saw him having the fan directed onto it. So
Deadlux was never. Serious?
Yeah.
So I just said it now. Like it never. No, you can't be, man. And you got an all-in-one, haven't you? I'm pretty sure he's running an all-in. Oh, actually, no. I think he's running an air cooler on his.
Love to get a photo of that Luxy in the Discord. We'll show it. I want to see it. I want to show off Lux's PC station with no walls.
Just ripping that off, and it'd be like a pile of dust right on there. For sure.
I had a CPU fan that had stopped from dust. Really, Joe? Wow. Yeah, you gotta. If you definitely the fans is the big one, I think, and also your GPU, which surprisingly enough seems to suck up a fair bit of dust as well, and you can have GPU issues as well. Definitely keeping on top of your fans for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously GPU repacing as well is another thing. So,
true. That's another thing actually that I wasn't aware of until only just recently. That's something that can actually help. Yeah, do you think that's something you should be doing again every 6 months or so, Lee, or is that something?
I can GPU repacing it probably once a year, depending on So if you do a whole overclock, but doing it once a year regardless won't harm the GPU. But if you do use a more expensive brand in thermal paste, once every 2 years maybe. If you do see a fluctuation, obviously in your temps, you actually notice it more and more. So if you repaste the GPU and then obviously you do a burn test. So how I do mine is I'll rip it apart, I'll clean it. I don't sometimes change the pads. I'm usually just do the thermal paste. If I see the pads are a bit thin because they've been squashed down, I'll replace them. But you got to make sure you do get the right height in pads because the pads come in like 0.2, 0.5, 1 mil, 1.5 mil. So you make sure if you are going to change the thermal pads, you've got to get the correct ones for it. Best is obviously go to a strip down guide of that exact graphics card, and it'll tell you what sort of pads to buy and use. And they can be purchased. You can buy them in square. You can buy them in big squares like this, or you can buy them in strips, or you can actually buy the kits for the graphics cards. I've seen that before as well.
Yeah, I have seen that too as well.
So once I do the thermal paste, put the obviously cooler back on again, and put it back into the PC. I do a burn test to it. So a burn test for about 25 to 30 minutes, which means running stress tests for that long. And then what I'll do is after that, I shut the PC down for the rest of the night. So it just pretty much cooks the thermal paste, cools down, it bakes it, and then bang, you're ready to go. You actually see a few degrees difference by doing that burn test, and I've guaranteed it because I've actually done it myself, and I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it definitely does work.
Wow, that's incredible. So I guess on to summarize, in terms of the maintenance for your PC, you're saying blow out your PC every 6 months and do a thermal paste check with a burn test, followed that on the GPU every 12 to I guess a year to 2 years, depending on the type of thermal paste that you're using and stuff like that.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Any other maintenance that you would suggest?
Depending what you've got. So if you're running water cool, like a full custom loop, custom loop, you flush the system at least once a year.
Once a year,
I reckon once a year be enough. I've had coolant in some of my PCs for 2-3 years and had no issues whatsoever.
Really?
It all depends on obviously what you're running.
Quality
depends
of coolant and stuff.
It's actually exactly right. Depends what type of coolant you're actually running is another issue as well. So if you're running, obviously more of a pasty coolant, we'll call it, with the pastel colors in there, definitely once a year, because they will clog up your, obviously your jets.
There you go.
Yep. So, bar from that, if you're just running, standard just mineral water, right through it, or if it's demineralized water, or if you're using straight coolant, like the green coolants.
Yeah,
they're actually pretty good. I've had no issues whatsoever for a couple of years in them as well.
Well, there you go, guys. If you've got a bit of spare time on your hands, you're working from home, and you want to pull your PC apart, there's some suggestions on. If you haven't done that recently, maybe you can do it. And I'm sure anyone.
Let me ask you the question: how far or how long do you take to refresh the OS on your PC?
Oh, again, that's more of a, I think. About a year, maybe a year or so. I tend to refresh it, and I tend to also clean out all the hard drives and all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty OCD with it all. Obviously, all my folders and all that on my hard drive are pretty well labeled and stuff like that. But the minute I start seeing sort of a drop in any type of performance and that sort of stuff, I tend to give it a blowout. If it doesn't work, give it fresh OS, all that sort of stuff. Go through the steps, sort of thing.
That's it.
I haven't had too much with issue with this latest OS. I mean, this build that I'm running now was built November of last year, so I'm still relatively new in terms of the build. So been pretty good so far. What about yourself, fresh OS?
So how I work with my PC, all my data is pretty much on every other drive. Nothing is on the OS drive. So if I need to refresh or buy from software needs to be reinstalled, if I need to refresh or wipe the machine or something happens to the OS, everything's on the other drives. Bar for it being backed up on the cloud, and obviously now we've got our own personal server, PC for one on server, which is at Rowy's house at the moment.
At Rowy's house, yep.
Nothing stays on the OS drive just in case lose data. Look, even though it's being an M.2, it's very unlikely for something to happen to it.
Yeah, of course, yep.
But in this case here, I'll probably do it maybe in 1 to 2 years.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
If I see a slowdown, or if he comes to an issue, either driver problems or blue screening of some sort, obviously you'll do it there and then. But as a refresh, because I think I just need to reinstall Windows again. Maybe 1 to 2 years. I'll do it. I won't have. I had a friend of mine who did it every 3 months. 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
It was a bit over excessive. But for me now, I think 1 to 2 years is more than enough, unless you're having issues with the PC. What about you guys in the chat? How many times you do it? What's your rotation of a fresh OS?
And has anyone got plans now that they might be working from home to pull their PC apart, give it a good clean?
Well, that's another thing too. You think about that. Like in the day, it is that is exactly, and you're right there. Like, is it time now? Like, is it
time now? Exactly.
To
pull it apart, give it a good clean. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Deanie13's comment. Have you seen mine? As if I'm pulling that back apart.
Yours is different. Like I said, yours is different.
Yeah.
Mephisto goes, I do it when there is an issue or hardware upgrade. So same with me. Like I said,
true.
And next another thing too. So if you are going from example Intel to AMD or vice versa, then definitely a fresh OS. And sometimes even if you're upgrading to a later model as well. Yep. So if you're going to a later model, so if you're upgrading from an example X470 to X570 or Z370, Z390, or the latest generation could be out soon, next couple of months. That's another thing you can look at too. So it's 100%. Exactly. Sometimes you get away with it. Obviously, X470, depending on the board manufacturers and so forth.
Yeah, of course. Or
X570, I should say. But if you are doing a board replacement, if it's a CPU or graphics card, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm talking about if you are with the same brand, so you're sticking with NVIDIA, or you're going with AMD, just upgrading the same brand GPU, for example. But if you're going from NVIDIA to AMD, it's a bit dodgy sometimes. You can get away with it by just reinstalling drivers and removing the old drivers. But if you're doing a board replacement, it's a completely different board, then I'll definitely recommend doing an OS swap.
Yep, completely agree. Mephistrate says, I don't have a set time of doing it, but I do the same and keep nothing but the OS on the C drive, making it easier for formatting, etc.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah.
So do you guys actually partition the drives, or like partition that main drive of the OS, or do you have a separate drive for everything else? Well, that's another thing as well.
Yeah, so I'm on that. I have an SSD which has the operating system on it, and that's it. It's a 1 terabyte SSD NVMe.
Yeah.
And then I have a 4 terabyte hard drive. that I store the games and everything onto. There have been some
yeah.
games, such as Rainbow Six, that
Mhm.
didn't like to run on anything but an SSD, and I think there's a few games that are like that.
Yeah.
And the ones that I play, mainly DBD, Rainbow Six, and a few others like that, I put on the SSD, but
Okay.
everything else goes on the hard drive.
That's fair enough. Well, back in the old days, obviously, when we all couldn't afford massive storage drives, you would actually start partitioning that one drive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got, an example, a 1 terabyte drive back in the day, obviously, our updates back then weren't, 130 gig or 100 gig or 60 gig updates for all the games we used to play. We used to obviously get one drive, partition C drive on its own, partition, D or E drive on that same drive. But the only issue is if the OS corrupted, bang, you lost everything on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the drive, just the drive let go, which was pretty common back then as well. Especially if you're going to LANs. Obviously, the thing is you'll grab your PC, put it in the car, take it to a LAN, bring it back, and there was times where the PC wouldn't boot up or had a corrupted file, or because obviously the hard drive just moving around too much.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty it's a good topic to be talking about.
It is. So. Yeah, especially if you've got some time on your hands, then maybe it's the time to clean your PC and also have a look about where you're storing things as well. Maybe if you've got some ideas from other people here.
Exactly right. But before we do start the full-on shots, I know we've been talking for a while now about obviously the straw poll. I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight. So we've got Cooler Master and we've got Blue Design. So for all your Cooler Master needs, obviously got all hardware, they've got cases, they've got all-in-ones, they've got all you need, power supplies as well. Head over to coolermaster.com, and then we've also got Blue Design. So Blue Designs have given me, we'll get one new soon because that mic is like, it's really red, your mic.
It is, mate. It is.
Obviously, have given me the Yeti X, and that's
what you're talking about. This is Yeti X as well. Thank you, Yeti.
The Yeti X. So head over to bluedesigns.com and you can check them out. And obviously, all retail stores in Australia and around the world as well. So thanks to them at the same time. But I think we should go to our next topic, which is the NVIDIA drivers. NVIDIA have released some new drivers for us, which is the 445.75.
They have. Now, for this driver, I believe it's the focus of it was the Half-Life Alyx, which is the VR game that came out and blew people's minds in the VR world this week. So I think there's a lot of it to go around with the Half-Life Alyx. So that if you are planning to play some VR soon, then make sure you get yourself this update coming out on the 23rd of March.
There you go. So it's getting ready for Half-Life, Resident Evil 3, Ghost Recon, and NVIDIA and additional NVIDIA DLSS 2.0, which we'll talk about that next week. I'll do some more research on DLSS 2.0 because there's been some major updates to DLSS to this, obviously with graphic design, background graphics especially in games, and obviously performance as well. So I'll definitely look into that. But also added to the update for SLI profiles, which I'm not sure a lot of people are using SLI these days, but Ace Combat, you got Black Sad as well, you got Blair Witch, Closer to Sun, Held, which, you know what, going for this list, I'm actually still happy that NVIDIA are still doing SLI profiles.
Yeah, I agree.
Even till today. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good so far. But if you go for that list here, I'll actually put this into the chat. I keep forgetting to actually link in this crap here. So there you go. Check it out for yourself, guys. So that is the NVIDIA update 4.75.
And I think off the top of my head as well, again, Ghost Recon Breakpoint might be free at the moment as well. I think they're trying to push that title a lot more. They've had a bit of a rough time with that, but you might be able to pick that up for free at the moment. Make sure you have a look. Exactly right.
So next topic for tonight is Valve will delay some Steam auto updates to preserve bandwidth. God forbid if it's Rainbow Six.
It is, isn't it? So
what would you guys do if it is?
Yeah, imagine that. You go to jump on, and we've all been there before, haven't we? Where you've gone to jump on, and it's a fresh 67 gig download. Thank you, Rainbow Six. But yeah, starting this week, Valve have said that Steam will only immediately auto update games that you've played in the last 3 days. So obviously they're trying to conserve bandwidth. They're trying to make sure that they're keeping the on peak times, especially for those that are now working from home or getting homeschooling, all that sort of stuff. That
or just working in general,
just not taking up the bandwidth. So they've now said that if you're only the games you've played in the last 3 days will be on the auto update list, and it'll be in an off peak local time period. So
if you look at this, right? If you look at this, I've got it here actually. I'll bring this up and I'll give you guys the link. So this part here, not this one here. This part here, Steam has broken its own concurrent user records multiple times this month, mostly recently having more than 23 million concurrent players on Steam playing at the same time.
Wow. It's incredible this time, isn't it?
And that's just the weekend as well. That's only the weekend.
So, I mean, isolation all over the world. The video game market has skyrocketed, I believe.
Definitely.
A lot of people turning to that, and a lot of people experiencing, a lot of games obviously putting out a lot of, which I love as well. Shout out to the games developers doing this, but putting out a lot of bonuses and in-game credits and stuff like that for players during this isolation. Shout out to the game developers looking after their player consumer base by giving them bonuses to play during this crazy time.
Yeah, exactly right. There's also some news as well. There's been a lot of news, obviously being due to this plague, but they're also saying that they're worried what's going to be happening in the next 9 to 10 months at the hospitals.
Yeah.
Because not actually, it had nothing to do with the plague at all. Nothing to do with what's going on in the world at the moment. Is because so many people are isolated. Is that there's only adults have a few other things to do bar from, So they're saying about 10 to 11 months from now is going to be a very busy baby period. Apparently, they're saying that there's going to be a massive baby boom.
Yep.
Within the next 10 to 11 months due to the fact of this isolation period that everyone's having at the moment.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Lee has confirmed that if you are a midwife, you are an essential part of Australia's economy.
You will be in the next 10 to 11 months, that's for sure. Maternity water be chocolate's exactly right, Danny. Keep it in your pants. That's all we can say. That's all. Right now.
I mean, look, there's not much else at the moment, is there? I mean, I know a lot of the top streamers on Twitch, on YouTube, all these gaming platforms are promoting that the peak in viewers has been astronomical with no live sport, nothing else. A lot of people are turning to watching streaming and also streaming themselves, and that obviously increases the games that they play or the bandwidth as well.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But how about these the Formula One and MotoGP races are actually doing their virtual races online?
Yeah, I saw that.
It was actually pretty awesome.
I did see that. Yeah,
I think it was MotoGP. There was about 10 or 11 of them just racing against each other. I think it was on PS4, to be honest.
Awesome.
It was definitely console of some sort. But it was good. It was actually really good to see. But I haven't seen much of F1, but I know they've done it.
No, yeah.
But I just saw MotoGP on the news this week, so that was pretty cool of them to actually do that.
That is awesome, and it's great. And I was watching Scott McLaughlin from the V8 Supercar Series. Actually, he was racing on the iRacing game. He's got a full setup now. He's just started up to Twitch. Got partnered in a day. They're just they're about to the V8 Supercars. They got them behind it. All the sponsors on board, and they're going to do the full V8 Supercars series from their lounge room and do iRacing. It's definitely starting to see a lot more of that. And I think there's a lot of sports personalities also jumping on streaming now and NBA stars, all that sort of stuff starting to stream. So, it's definitely a booming market at the moment, that's for sure.
100%. Dini, get a TV for your bedroom. That will kill the mood every day of the week. I've got a TV in my room as well. Don't worry, mate. There's a TV there, but sometimes shit happens. You know what I mean? If I had my PC in my bedroom, that would be a different story.
Yeah. So, babe, not tonight. NCIS is on once again. They're not going tonight.
Next topic for tonight. Okay, so Microsoft, Sony, and Valve advised delaying PlayStation and Xbox updates.
Yeah, so this obviously flows in from our last topic. Obviously, Valve came with the first ones to come out and say, look, we're going to start delaying all your updates, your last 3 games. And then pretty much, PlayStation, Xbox, Microsoft, Sony both come and said, well, that's a great idea. We're going to do the same. So if you, again, haven't played your PlayStation in a while, your Xbox in a while, even down to their system software updates. If it hasn't been turned on, they're not going to force the software updates onto your console until you have been on there playing it recently. So another thing to watch for gamers is if you're planning to jump on, you might have a few updates sitting there waiting for you because they are definitely trying to conserve the bandwidth.
Yeah, I can see where they're coming from and the reason why they would do that as well. But it's also like, if it's not pretty much online gaming and it's just like, I can understand pulling back the single player updates. For minor issues or obviously concerns as well. But I think for online gaming, it should be like, all right, this game is top tier. I'm saying, for example, like say Fortnite is probably one of the most games played on console anyway. I doubt it very much. I should pull updates for that because it's something where it's going to pull back on all platforms, really. It is all cross-platform. But it's interesting to see how they're all starting to do the same thing. But we'll obviously have to wait and see. I don't think there'll be much effect in Australia.
No, I don't think it will either. And I don't think, I mean, a lot of us leave our PCs, well, I know I do sometimes, is leave my PC on overnight to have the off-peak updates go automatically anyway. So I don't think it's going to be too much. The only thing that, for those COD Warzone players out there with those 7 gig updates, you're going to have to stay on top of those.
That's going to be another thing as well. Exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. Well, guys, what do you think in the chat? Do you think that Microsoft, Valve, and PlayStation or, Sony should actually be pulling back their updates to conserve bandwidth? Do you think it's a good idea? Let us know in the chat. But from my perspective, I can see where they're coming from, but I don't think maybe not so much in Australia, but obviously in Europe, like their bandwidth would be dead by now, to be honest, because everyone's inside there.
I'd love to know as well if anyone out there has noticed in their area as well, especially in the Australian parts, if they've noticed some internet troubles, more internet troubles now with more people working from home and doing that sort of stuff. If you've noticed drop in speeds, has your internet been more pushed to its limits in your local areas? Let us know in the chat.
Actually, no, mine's actually been not too bad.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I haven't seen much of a difference between that side. So yeah, for me, it's. Look, I do pay for business grade here at home. And I'm so thankful for that. I can actually get it. It is FTTP. But I haven't seen any dropouts or any issues with your own school. I usually get about 95 down and about 38 up. So it's pretty much 140. But I have been thinking as of late, if I do permanently bring the studio here back home, I might be doing double bandwidth here. So it'll be 200 down and like, I think 80 up. Which is something I might be looking at doing if that's the case. If I definitely need that, but at the moment now, even if I'm playing, if I'm streaming, the kids might be on the iPads. The missus might be watching something here at home as well, and my streams don't cut out. Like at the moment now, they're probably on their iPads at the moment now, and the missus is probably watching something on TV. And if the stream's running all right for you guys, well then exactly, you can see how quick my internet's running at the moment, which is pretty cool.
The only trouble I noticed was they gave you internet access, boy.
Sorry, say that again.
Deadluck's in the chat trying to be a comedian, saying that the only trouble I noticed was that they gave you internet access, Bobby. Obviously, Dan doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, doesn't want to chat online anymore to me, and that's fine, Dan. That's fine. I've already got a pretty full friend list at the moment. Happy to remove it down to a simple 9. Down from
The golf, I don't know whether it's work, infrastructure, or Aussie fraud brand, but mine got dropped a few times today. Seemed only the effective condition of office. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it probably all depends on the area as well. At the end of the day, I think Mark lives in the sticks. I'm not sure how he said he's got no changes, so he's been pretty good as well. So, sounds like you dodged a bullet there. Going to our next topic, which is another thing about speed. So 5G in Australia, everything you need to know. Is this going to be the new thing for us? Is this something we're going to be looking at in the future? Is 5G going to be dead once Elon Musk, releases his fantastic internet connection for Australia, which is going to be primarily going to be our main internet here. Now, they are saying that the 5G networks will be capable of download speeds as fast as 20 gigabits per second.
Bloody hell.
I
Well,
don't know about that.
yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, that I see in Telstra Optus. I mean, obviously the news has been decimated by the other situation going on, and rightly so. But
Yeah.
you know, in the slighter, you know, quieter news, they are rolling out 5G to all the major cities around Australia at the moment, and they're suggesting that it's going to match the speed you will get on your NBN, or more than likely beat it, which is incredible.
What are the plans? So you got the different
Yeah.
plans you're getting as well.
Yeah,
Regardless of fair enough, you might get top speeds, right? In regard to that, and that's what I'm talking about with 5G, which will most likely be just be in the CBD area.
yeah,
But you think about it, right? What sort of data plans are going to give us to actually sort of match NBN?
True.
The only thing, the only people sorry to cut you off. The only people I think will sort of benefit is, for example, if you are a streamer but you're on the go streaming. So, you know, if you're what do you call those streamers that like, you know, go and eat at restaurants or they go jogging or, you know, people that actually stream live outside.
So IRL streamers or
IRL streamers,
just chatters?
Or just chatters, I think it'll be more suited for them particularly. But then again, if 5G does expand past the CBD, which is, you know, I'm talking about with good speeds, and they bring out really good internet plans that's obviously affordable, but NBN have done some few changes in the last few months. We'll soon see, I reckon, in the next month or two, how well it's going to obviously withstand with everyone maybe being at home if they do a full lockdown. Australia wide. That's going to be like probably the most important thing we should see next. But so, but as you're saying, as you're going, sorry.
Yeah, so I was just saying, so I did see an announcement from Telstra a couple of days ago saying coming out and finally in this world of turmoil, admitting that yes, the NBN lines are pretty dog shit and that they are working to improve them, and they're not at the best quality they could be. So I know that Telstra have admitted fault in the NBN lines and that they are working currently to improve their lines in certain areas, especially the mostly affected areas of people that are in stage 3, like yourself, Lee, who are forced to work from home, or if you're a student, a school teacher, you know, a necessity to be working from home right now, you're going to need strong internet connection. So I know Telstra are trying to improve their lines in that area, but will it bring it up to a 5G speed, or will the 5G, you know, decimate the market? Time will tell. But I think there's only a certain amount of phones. Lee, correct me if I'm wrong as well. I think you might have a Samsung. There's only a certain amount of phones that can actually only access 5G. I don't think any normal iPhone users and that can just get it now either.
So it is the S20, it is the S10 5G as well. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I don't think mine is a 5G model, to be honest, but I'm not sure. Because I've got the Note 10 Plus, which I don't think it is. No, it isn't, because I don't get 5G on this. I must have just missed the boat. The Galaxy A90 5G and the Oppo Reno 5G as well. And there's HTC got a few as well, HTC 5G Hub, and the LG V5 Thin Q as well. But I've got a friend of mine, actually Matt. He's actually got his S10 Plus 5G. He had major issues at the start when they first released it. So he had to keep going back to 4G. But he had problems with his phone issue itself, hardware problems with his phone. So I don't know if it's been resolved yet or not. Pretty sure it has, because otherwise he would have mentioned it a few days ago when I spoke to him about it. But I just don't have high hopes for it yet. It's just
the confidence is shot, isn't it? The confidence is shot. I mean, internet in Australia, if you get it right off the bat, you've created a miracle, because at the moment, you know, everything that's coming to Australia in terms of internet, NBN, 5G, you know, there's been too many hiccups for the consumers to trust that they're on the right path. Let's fingers crossed that the 5G network is going to, you know, be capable of download speeds as fast as, you know, what are they reporting? I think it's 20 gigs per second sort of thing. So,
exactly.
I mean, if you get that while you're working from home, for those that are, you know, heavily reliant on it.
I think he's still got it, Mark. I think he's still got the phone.
Can he sell it already?
Matt's got a bit of a reputation that he'll buy things and sell it within a couple of weeks.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's the reason why he's commented like that. But so it is what it is at the end of the day. But
So have you got 5G there? Because I know we've just had it turned on here in Canberra. But
we've got 5G in Melbourne. Yes, we do.
You've got 5G, yeah.
Well, I haven't got a 5G device, so for me, it's it's not really much more from that. Going to our next topic, which is a really good one that you actually put up on here as well. So 888 developers ventilator prototype. So as you were stating before we actually went live, obviously the V8 Supercars engineers have nothing to do, obviously. They're obviously not working at the moment. And they're obviously reinventing the ventilators, or actually re-engineering new ventilators for the COVID-19. I don't know if you want to go a bit more into this, because I actually haven't seen this topic yet.
Yeah, so it's incredible story coming out of 888 Racing, which is obviously a major team player in the V8 supercars, coming off the back of some work that Formula One engineers have done. At the moment, obviously, Formula One engineers, V8 supercar, all racing engineers are pretty, out of a job. So the bosses have turned around and said, well, the world is suffering a massive shortage in ventilators. Obviously, you see countries like Italy, Spain, even the US now struggling to have enough ventilators to help all the sick. Let's come up with our own design, use your engineering skills, put a test, and create us a ventilator that's cheap to make, easy to manufacture, and easy to move around the world. And 888 have announced today, only about 4 or 5 hours ago, that they've done it, and they've come up with a simple and cost-effective ventilator that will be able to be distributed around Australia to every hospital in need or who's got a shortage. So they're doing some initial research, I believe, starting at the end of the week, and then if it gets the tick, then 888 might be on the verge of creating something that's the world's screaming out for right now.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, we do know New York at the moment is obviously I'm not sure. Last I heard, they were trialing it, but I'm pretty sure it was successful at the time.
Yep.
Where they were using one ventilator for 2 people, because obviously they're running out. So at this stage here, if it does be successful, at least they can have one ventilator for the 2. Apparently, it depending obviously size and weight of both person. Or both people, I should say. But this here, hopefully, it should give us a bit more even though they've engineered their prototype, they've actually made this, it's a matter of actually remanufacturing it to the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think by the time this actually even gets out and hopefully gets, obviously gets into a position where it's actually able to be made, it might be obviously quicker than, sooner than later, I should say.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's going to be another thing that's going to be pretty much on the news for the next couple of months at least. At least. So,
look, I'm very impressed, and a big pat on the back to 888 engineers, obviously not having much to do and coming up with a cost-effective ventilator. Look, if it comes into place sooner rather than later, then that's
exactly right.
That's amazing work, and very, very big congratulations out to 888 engineers for that.
That's correct. Last tech topic for tonight, then we'll go into some gaming. AMD's new Ryzen gaming laptops chip is out there and kicking Intel's butt.
Yes.
I have seen a few reviews so far, and we've actually requested our Asus to actually see about sending me this specific laptop. It is a 14-inch version. So it is a G14, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And what I've seen so far from it is going to be now. I'm going to stop myself there for a second, because back in the day, if you did buy an AMD laptop, which a friend of mine did have, which wasn't too badly priced, and mainly bought it for Skyrim. So when Skyrim got released, the last one that got released, he's a massive Skyrim fan. He played it. I go, look, he goes, oh, what do you think of this? Blah, blah. This is when I was still working at the computer store that I was working at. And I said, look, you are going to be playing on low settings. Oh, no, it should be fine. It's pretty high spec, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it ain't going to work. It does sound high spec, but it's not. And believe it or not, I was right. So he could barely play Skyrim in it without it overheating, because he had to go buy a cooling pad for it straight away. But it just wasn't there at this time. But now AMD have come back with their Ryzen 4000 series, because so can you imagine what the 4000 mobile version will be doing compared to the new desktop version, which you might get obviously about 10 or 15 performance increase into that, percent increase in that. But as it states here, we've finally got our hands on the new AMD Ryzen 9 4900HS, and that's in the ROG Zephyrus G14. Now, it is only a 14-inch laptop. It's only running a 1660 Ti or 1660, I think it is.
Okay, not too bad,
But now, the reason why they did that is for, obviously, cooling, for one. And you're only running a 14-inch screen. So we're talking about this specifically. We're not looking at any other laptop at the moment now, performance-wise. We are just looking at the G14 at the moment.
Okay.
So 1660 or 1660 Ti, you would think that it's pretty low end for a gaming laptop. But
Definitely.
just remember, it is a 14-inch laptop, so it's not big at all, and it's actually pretty thin at the same time as well. So the big news with the Ryzen 9 4900S is that it's an 8-core, 16-thread processor. It gives you 4.3 on a single core and 3.8 gigahertz on all cores. Now, what they said here was, like for example, the Cinebench R2 produced an overall score of 4,183 points using all cores. Single cores is 486 points, which is still impressive, by the way, as well.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
In comparison, produced by the single core. So if you're in the mood for more comparisons, then Geekbench 4 produced, which one was this stuff? I'm trying to remember what the hell that is. We'll go back to that because we're going to have a look at this properly. But going back to that, AMD have finally come through on the laptop side and obviously producing this. So I'll definitely be requesting ROG or Asus for one of these laptops to actually have a look at myself, especially now when I've got the new Aorus laptop here with the 9980 HK or HS, whatever it is. It'll be good to see what it's actually going to be like compared to it, and seeing what AMD's performance is going to be like as well. So I'll definitely be requesting one of these. So hopefully, within the next month or a bit, I should be seeing this in my studio here to see what it's all like and what it's really all about. So to definitely give you guys an update on that. But I'm really glad to see that AMD have actually pulled up the sleeves in this matter, which is say.
Agreed. I mean, we were talking about these chips a bit. I think it was like we were 2 weeks ago. Obviously, we weren't here last week. But 2 weeks ago, we were announcing these chips, or they were just sort of, being sort of distributed, and look, 2 weeks later, here we are, and they're reporting now that they're kicking butt. So it's good to see AMD. Right. You've definitely, it's about time. And Intel, let's see what their response is to that, because I'm sure they won't be too far behind.
I'm sure they'll have something there, 100%.
They won't be liking that title.
No, they won't be at all. But you never know. We should see. We'll soon find out what they're all about and what they've actually got to obviously coming up with their new chipsets in line. So
let's hope that you get one and you can review it and then send it out to all the fans.
Yeah, exactly right.
Laptop for each of you. Promised by Lee. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay, so gaming topics for tonight. Let's look at this, and this one was fantastic.
So this one was something that you had actually alluded me to. You were telling me on the weekend, I think it was, that you'd just been playing some of the Predator hunting grounds,
yes,
which absolutely looks insane. Once I finally got the chance to go and have a look, it looks good. I'm a big Predator fan. Love the movies. So tell me, how did the game go?
Massive Predator fan. Out of all of the sci-fi alien hunters or whatever it is, far from Aliens, look, I love the movie Aliens.
Yeah,
Predator is probably one of my most favorite ones. I've actually got Predator memorabilia. So I've got the masks. I've got the actual. I actually had the stuff, but I actually sold it, or his spear, we should say. Yeah. And I used to have the plasma gun as well. But I ended up buying him really cheap at the time, and then I ended up selling him for like nearly 5 times the price I paid for it. So, so it was pretty good back then. But going back to the game, there is a few differences on what they actually show you to what the actual gameplay is like. And what I mean by that is graphics. Graphics is now, this was only a trial, so it was from the 27th to the 29th, so over the weekend. It was a 17 gig file to download, and there was a few issues at the start. Was obviously the joining in times for the gameplay for online gaming. So how it works is you can do a team of 2, 3, or 4. Yep. Which is obviously you're the Marines, or what would you call them, or Special Forces, I should say. Yep. And then the one person is the Predator. Yeah. So the whole game of the Predator is to obviously kill the Marines. Yep. Not allow them to successfully get the information. And where the demo started off was in Predator 1 in the jungle, where they go to the base, which is it's not really a drug base in the game itself. It was you have to collect data. So you got to go there, collect all the data, and then in the meantime, elude the Predator, kill the NPCs, which obviously they're going to shoot you because obviously they're the people surrounding the compound. Yeah,
protecting the base. Yep.
But if the Predator kills all of you, you fail. If you all die, you fail. So there's a lot of things that come into it. But I've managed to get my Predator to about, I managed to get to about level 7 at the time.
Okay, cool.
Level 14 gives you the combo stick, which is this one here.
Yep.
So the combo stick was pretty awesome. I actually got demolished by one of them while I was there. So at this stage, we managed to get was the camouflage, the plasma cast, what they call it here, the wrist blades, and then the combo stick. I didn't see anyone with the smart disc or as the female predator, as you can see here. I didn't get as far as that, but pretty much you start off with the hunter class. Hunter class or the scout class. They're the first two you start off with. I'm pretty sure it was hunter class. It was a demo. But the actual gameplay itself was pretty cool. I've got to give it to them. They've actually done it really well on this, and it's not as big as pretty much any other map that's out there. That's obviously playing this very similar game. So it's more like Hunt. And what else? What game would it be like?
It's got like a DVD feel to it. I mean, with the killer and 4 survivors sort of thing. Would that be
pretty much? Yeah. It'll be like that as well. But obviously, you're in the predator. What do you call it? World. In a sort of sense. Think of the demo was pretty much Predator 1. You pretty much you go out to the jungle. You get dropped out of a helicopter. Which is all video as well, so you have to see that, which is pretty cool. And then the predator starts from the other side of the map, and then you pretty much just join into the middle, and that's where you see it all. But the predator camouflage is awesome. He's got like a power bar as well, and the good thing about the predator, so there was another thing as well, which I managed to do because I actually got to a stage where if you're dying as a predator. So I had like 4 of them hit me at one time. So the camouflage got released, so they could see me, and they pretty much killed me. So I was actually dead. But if you still have enough life to actually do the what do you call that when he explodes? Like
like the self-destruct sort of thing.
Self-destruct. Yeah. If you successfully self-destruct, you still win the map as a predator because you've killed everyone.
Wow, so that's pretty cool.
Pretty much pretty much died, and it's like example PUBG. So when you get to a certain stage of your death, you're crawling around. You can get revived and so forth. But as a predator, you can't revive. So if you can if you get to a certain level, you can still inject yourself to get health back, or if you run out of health, you can self-destruct it. And I managed to self-destruct, which was pretty good. And the actual visuals of that is when it does self-destruct, they've used the video from Predator 1. As the explosion, which is pretty cool. So they've actually gone that far into it at the same time, which is I'm hoping they're going to give a few, you get Predator, obviously the hunting grounds. This is pretty much exactly where you are, but updates later on, DLCs or so forth, when you can do like Predator 2 when it's in the city of LA, and obviously the Predator 3 as well, or if you're in a Predator homeworld or some sort. That would be great to actually look at. And this is a game 110% that I'll be playing, streaming, and getting a group of you guys on there.
Definitely. Looking forward to that.
So that's one thing I'll be definitely looking at in the future when it does come out, and it comes out in April.
24th of the 4th. For those that are wondering, when can you get your hands on this? 24th of the 4th. So next month, which are from tomorrow, obviously, flying through the year. But look forward to checking that out. And hopefully they drop that Arnie skin and then wait for everyone in game chat to say, get to the chopper.
Yeah, it was great. It's great. I don't know, we might see a bit of a video here. I want to see how well you can actually see if there's any gameplay here. I think this is just the actual scene itself. The game.
Did you have it on PC or?
Yeah, it was on PC, by the way. Yeah. Mind you, the game does not look like this at all. Obviously, they have enhanced the graphics, I should say. This looks like it's gameplay with RTX on. we played with RTX off. Look, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad graphics, but understand being a multiplayer game, obviously you can't play games like this. But I should say that the Predator when he's pretty much in camouflage, it does look like that. It's really good. Yeah. Like the camouflage, even in game, was actually pretty good. But mind you, it was only a trial. Obviously, I had a few teething issues. I think day 2 of Predator hunting round was probably a 10 or 15 minute wait to get into the games.
Okay.
But it was, I think it was resolved in about 4 hours, 5 hours where they fixed the issue. Not too bad. So it wasn't great, but it wasn't it wasn't fantastic. But I think we should have a look at this one quickly before we do go into the next topic.
No, it definitely looks cool. And it looks like they've got all the right licensing as well.
Pretty much this is it. This is the actual gameplay. This is how it looked. Like which wasn't bad. Mind you, looking at a YouTube video as well.
Doesn't look too bad at all.
So this is what you can see. See how the camouflages. Yeah, so the predator can jump the predator can jump really far, like pretty much from tree to tree.
Yep.
And it's like the tree could be like 200 meters
Customize
away.
your own
It
predator.
will just jump. Yeah, it can fully customize. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool. And that's what I got killed by. He destroyed me with that thing.
Oh.
Well, we can do stealth because I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's me standing there AFK.
Yeah. And also too, I'm going to shotgun predator every time. So
that's right. Yeah. I'll get me and 3 mates, excluding Deadlocks, and we'll be after you, mate. We'll get
4 Deadlocks. Yeah, so guys, do stay tuned for this. It is coming out on the 24th of the 4th. So it's going to be one awesome game to play. But you've got to like Predator as well. But I think it's a bit different.
Does look good, and I like that they've got the licensing as well behind it, so they can put more stuff into it from the actual movie.
Exactly.
A lot of games like that struggle with licensing and being able to implement stuff from the movies and stuff that you want to see. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
Dead by Daylight player myself, with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre killer that I use, they struggle with a lot of they can implement into that game because of licensing, but to have Predator behind them, using the logos, using everything from the movies, it's going to be very, very cool. Cannot wait for that one. So 24th of the 4th, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for Lee versus Staff on that one.
Actually, that's a really good idea. That's really good one. I like that a lot. We'll be doing it 100%.
Yeah.
Going to our second last topic for tonight. So, Doom Eternal speed run world record squeezes under 40 minutes. Now, it wasn't done by Devo, our good mate Devo. So he's obviously a speedrunner for.
He's working on it. He's getting close.
So it was done at 38 minutes 31 seconds by Distortion 2. Souls over Urdak. We'll call Urdak and directly to the boss to the end. As you were stating before in the chat before we actually started as well. So this is without cinematics or without obviously
without loading
times.
Screens. Yeah.
So without loading times or anything else, it was done in 38 minutes and 31 seconds, which is insane. So what you were saying? How long is the game supposed to go for? Was it 40 hours?
So it's meant to be a 15-hour campaign. 15-hour campaign. It's what Diablo came out and tweeted. They said their campaign should take you on Doom. Yeah. That should take you 15. What did I say? I didn't remember. Diablo. My God. That they should take you 15 hours to complete the game. And yes, Distortion 2, who is at the controls, has gone and completed it in 39 minutes and 50 seconds, which. It's incredible, isn't it?
I wonder what Devo will do as well. So I wonder.
I've been watching him, and I'm pretty sure he's close. I think he's down to just under an hour now. Last time I saw, so he's not far off the mark.
Still got a few bit to go.
But it is
12 minutes. 12 minutes is a lot.
It's incredible 13. The things that you watch. You can see a gamer do when they're trying to get world record speeds in terms of shortcuts, what to kill, what not to kill, all that sort of stuff. So
that's right. So there you go. So that is Doom. So who here has been playing Doom? Let us know in the chats. I've actually played it a few times. I think I played probably about half an hour's worth, and it actually made me sick. But
really?
Yeah, I spoke to Slickfly about it. He told me a few things to change, which I haven't done yet, which I've got to get into it.
Yep.
We've got Nicholas here. So the Predator game seems to be going with Dead by Daylight formula. 4v1. A lot of games tried to do this last year. Death Garden. Friday the 13th and all the failed, but maybe it's the last.
Friday 13th, you die hard.
This will last longer. I can definitely it will last longer. This you've got to be a Predator fan for one to actually enjoy the game as well, but it does give it a bit of a different dynamic because the Predator is a very formidable boss, you call it, right? Or you know, hunter, I should say.
Yep.
So there is a lot of tactics in Predator, and you must have obviously voice chat on. So if you are the special forces, for example, you can go with this very tactically. Obviously, the Predator can actually see you, but the Predator can't distinguish, which there is actually can distinguish one or two, right? So the Predator can't. Going back to Predator, I know we're talking about Doom.
That's fine.
The Predator can't distinguish between yourself and the NPCs. It only sees heat signatures. But there is an option where you press X and it can identify where you are roughly. So what it does, it shows up like a scan, it brings up you press X and it scans out completely, and it comes up with like a little red fog on where you guys are, and it all depends on how you guys are running around, shooting everyone else at the same time. Because obviously, if you guys being like the NPCs are just walking around until they start singing and then they start running. But if you're playing very tactically, the predator can identify between the NPC and who you guys are. So it's you've got to be on the ball with Predator. But I'm fingers crossed, Nicholas, that Predator does obviously sort of take off to a lot better than the games you mentioned here.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's going to be a game coming out in April, so we'll definitely find out soon, sooner than later, obviously. If people start enjoying it or don't enjoy it, yeah, it all depends at this date.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in isolation to try out a new game, so it's a good time to be releasing a new game. I think
if we're still in isolation in April, which
I'm
pretty sure
I think we will be. Yeah, I think
exactly
we will be.
Right. Exactly right. Going back to actually our last topic for tonight, and that's Doom as well. So good luck, Devo, as well on that on our last topic. Hopefully, it does beat that.
You're close, mate. You're close.
So we'll definitely see. Right, shooter, Valorant,
I think it is. Valorant.
Goes into beta April 7th. So this has been. So this used to be called something else, though. What was it called officially?
Yeah, it was Project A.
Project
A was the yeah. So this is Riot's for those that play obviously League of Legends or TFT, anything of that. This is Riot's first attempt at a first-person shooter, and they are expecting the numbers to be absolutely incredible that come into this game. So the beta. It launches April 7th, and it'll be available to obviously the big time Twitch streamers will be the ones trialing the game out. And if you want to get your hands on a copy of Valorant or get access to the beta itself, then you need to be in Twitch watching these streamers play it, because it'll be done as a Twitch drop, and you will get an email saying you've been invited to the beta. Thank you for watching so-and-so play Valorant. So if you are interested in this game, and I know a lot of FPS people may be, because they reckon it's going to be the FPS game that's going to take over the world, much like Overwatch did back in the day. From April 7th, get onto the Twitch streamers that are checking out the closed beta. Try and win yourself through Twitch drops, access to the beta, and get your hands on Valorant, and let us know how you go, because they reckon, as I said, it's going to be the FPS that everyone wants to play. So I'll be interested to see how it goes.
Well, you can see here, so the beta won't be entirely global, at least not at launch. Instead, it will be available in Canada, Europe, Russia, Turkey, and the United States.
There you go. Yep.
So we won't even be getting it. So the guys, obviously, guys on the show will have to either VPN it if they can. But it's going to be, and I've just going up there as well. I've seen a lot of games having beta access in Australia due to the fact because we have a lot of games on here. So I'm very interested to see why they didn't choose Australia as one of the actual beta testers. But
yeah, true.
Like you said, it is closed beta, so we'll be able to see players from the obviously North America, Europe, Russia, and Turkey. So we'll definitely see them. But it's a game that's obviously had a lot of attention in the last couple of months.
A lot of hype, that's for sure. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yep.
Nicholas says here as well, the thing is, I found that even if you agree that the game is dead by Daylight is broken or just bad game, but one thing long-time players will say, it's addicting. So it's a game you definitely play. And it's hard to get long-term players to move, but much easier to move new players to DBD, to games like Predator.
Definitely, mate.
Like I said, if you're a Predator fan, you love the movies, and just pretty much enjoy that Predator world. I know we're kicking back to Predator. You'll definitely enjoy the game, but you must you've got to have a group. Like for example, like a few of the PC1 staff members obviously love playing R6. So if you're a group of mates that pretty much enjoy the game constantly, or if you enjoy Predator, if you enjoy that, you will enjoy the game 100% because it's something you guys will be doing every night.
Exactly.
But then it all depends on what sort of games you like playing. But it is a new style of game at the same time, because it's not just about pretty much jumping into the game and just killing the Predator, or going for example the boss or so forth. You've still got missions within that game, so you still got to complete the missions, which is your main priority as the special forces, regardless of it. So I don't know. We'll soon find out when that game comes out.
Yeah, we will. We certainly will. Fingers crossed that they've got the development behind them to put a lot of time in and make it successful.
I've heard that too, Nicholas, as well. Seeing a lot of crossplay wonder. I've actually heard that this will be crossplay, but
I've heard the same.
Until those details come officially, I can't say much about it until that time comes. But 9 out of 10, obviously with the new Xbox and a new PS5 coming out, obviously PC games as well. Most games coming out of 2020 or going into 2021 will be more crossplay.
And I think it's again, once what I said a bit earlier, but I think it's a really good time for a game like this to be coming out, especially with everyone in isolation. I know for a fact that this will be one of the most top stream games when it does drop, and obviously through beta as well, in terms of the types of streamers they've got on it and the types of people that watch those streamers watch this game go boom. And I know a lot of people will be hyped for that, because there are a lot of people that are probably just coming off the Overwatch hype, not really interested in that anymore. COD Warzone's been out for a little while now. This is going to give you that different first-person shooter, which is class-based, ability to level up, spend a bit of time in it, reward systems, all that sort of stuff. And Riot as well, obviously with Riot behind them as well. Riot have been in the esports league with LoL for such a long time that I think they're going to nail it on the head in terms of setting up the game for esports in the future, all that sort of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of people interested in this, especially the Riot fanboys as well.
That's right. That's right. I wonder if there'll be some sort of pay to play as well with this as well.
Yeah, I think there would be. I mean, it would be unrighty if they didn't.
Because I haven't seen much on it, to be honest. It looks, when I was watching the gameplay probably about a month ago or so.
Yeah,
it does look so much like CS:GO. Like it's
so. 100%, isn't it? Yeah.
It's very, very close to CS:GO, because even it's the way it's held the gun, the visual effects as well. Obviously, it's pretty much like Overwatch and CS:GO had a baby. It is.
It's exactly right. Exactly right. 100%. Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. Oh my God, Dean! I just said that.
Yeah, it is true. It's exactly right. Look at you two. Look at you two. Hey?
That's what we call sync. That's like a literal sync. So it's
Danny's sitting next to you, I swear.
He is. He's right behind me. He's just like whispering, like yeah, fuck. That's really freaky.
Nicholas coming in asking, this is going to be plain. This is planned to be free to play, right? It is. You're absolutely right, Nicholas. It is at the moment planning to be free to play, but much like Fortnite, much like all the others, there will be pay to win features or skins and such, so forth. So classic Riot form, but you should be able to, when it does drop, which is not till the end of the year, I do believe. I think we're still a few months away for any time an Australian's going to be able to get their hands on it. But it will be free to play when it does drop.
There you go. All right, guys, that is the end of Talking Tech, episode 7. I know we missed it on last week. I was very unwell, to be honest, and so was Ricky, so we had to miss it last week.
Yep, so was I.
So hopefully next week will be the same. We are thinking about, which me and Ricky have been sort of discussing, we might push this to 8 o'clock starts.
Yep. Yeah,
maybe even a little later. We'll see how we go.
Especially with the families at home now.
That's correct. So it's giving you guys time to obviously get more acquainted, and maybe just to change time as well. We'll see how things are going. So far I'm very happy having Talking Tech on YouTube. So I think we might keep it here for now, because it was a test for a month. So we'll give it another couple of weeks and see how it goes.
Sounds good.
If not, we might pull it back into Twitch and see how that goes from there. But so far, I think we might keep it on YouTube and just, see how things take us from there. But I do appreciate everyone watching in tonight, and obviously joining into the fun at the same time. And
thank you so much, guys.
And some new faces here too, which are really, really great, which is really good.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. Sending you love and prayers in this crazy world of ours right now.
Exactly.
And like always, make sure you follow and subscribe to PC419 on the YouTube. And if you're not in the amazing Discord that is PC419, make sure you join there to keep up to date with everything. He has got an amazing community there, and he looks after you. I promise you that. Like sending me that monitor and everything you saw, that'll all be coming to me. And that could be you in the near future.
Wouldn't mind that at all. I really appreciate it. And also you too, Ricky, as well at the same time.
Love being here.
Coming here as well. So go follow Ricky as well. He is on Twitch.
So
it's Rycover TV. Actually put your link in the chat when we'll put it on there. Obviously we can't do raids because we are on YouTube, so there's no raiding on YouTube. But before we do go, I'll thank our sponsors. So I'll thank Cooler Master and Blue Designs once again for this week. We are looking at a few new sponsors due to the plague that's going around. A few other sponsors sort of held back at the moment. Obviously putting some more effort into that, but we'll definitely see something soon coming out in the next couple of weeks or maybe a month or even after the plague is finished. So we're just trying to take it by ear at the moment and to see how we go with all this. But end of the day, thank you once again, guys. Like Rycover said, you can follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's got the Aorus laptop, I've got the GSP 300s, got Blue Designs UD Nano, Shield TV, and a lot more coming in as well. And be a few other videos that I did like last time. Should you upgrade your PC? And
Exciting
we're doing a
times.
few other things at the same time. So it's going to be very exciting times for PC419 coming into the next couple of months. But guys, thank you once again. And guess what? We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Ooh.